What's up, guys? I'm Code Gray. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do a little discussion about gloves because I have quite a few gloves, and I'm going to let you guys know that one of these is very good, my favorite, and one of these absolutely sucks. But we're not going to talk down here in my basement. Let's go jump on the bike and we'll discuss it. Alright guys, we made it to the bike and we are going to talk about some gloves. But let me say this isn't going to be a long video because, let's face it, we're talking about gloves. How long can you talk about gloves? So we're going to get right through this. What's the purpose of this video? Well, the purpose of this video is to maybe save you guys some time and money in case you're looking for a new pair of gloves. I might be able to offer some that you like and maybe be able to steer you away from a bad decision. Alright, so let's talk about my first pair of gloves, which I don't have because my very first pair of gloves that I ever bought when I first started riding was those, you get them from Walmart, they're mechanics gloves. I'll show a little picture here. I wore those for about my first year and a half of riding. Alright, you know, but they're not the most protective things under the sun. So then I decided to go out and get myself a pair of real big boy gloves, and the closest place I could find was my local Harley dealer. Okay, so I went to my local Harley dealership and I got myself a pair of these. Now these are called Power Trips by Grand National, and full leather, carbon fiber knuckles, you know, extra padding over your other knuckles here. Good pair of gloves. I wore these probably my first, well, the first year I rode with the mechanics for my next probably 4 years, I rode with these on. They're a good pair of gloves, but I've gotten them wet so many times that they pretty much shrank to the point to where they're almost too small. These ran me about, I think, $33, $34. So not bad price. Held up well. Velcro's still working good. Everything's still working good, but like I said, they shrunk a little bit and they're a little stinky. And that's really about it about these. So we're gonna move on to the next one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a spot to pull over, swap gloves, and we'll go from there. Okay, gloves have been changed. Let's get moving. Okay, glove swap. Now, if you guys have been with the channel any amount of time, you've seen these gloves before. These are my Sedici Firenze winter gloves. All right, I bought these gloves on my very first winter ride. As soon as it got cold out, these are the gloves I ordered. Ordered them from Revzilla. They were about $23, $24, somewhere around there. They're in the 20s. And I bought these, I think, back in 2016, late 2016. And they've been holding up strong ever since. And since it's Ohio, you get a lot of cold weather riding here in Ohio. So they've been used well and used long. But yeah, stitching's good. Everything's good. Got knuckle protection all the way around. They're gauntlet style gloves. You know, they go over the cuffs of your jacket. These suckers are warm. You know, I've worn these things all the way down to 38 degrees and didn't need heated gloves. Yeah, my hands got a little chilly, but only a little chilly. So as not to add any suspense to the video or anything like that, because we're not making a long video, we're making it short. I will go ahead and let you guys know that right now, these are my favorite pair of gloves I've ever owned. I mean, the price is right. I mean, it's hard to beat a $20-something pair of gloves, winter gloves. They have not worn out in the least. They have held up extremely well. None of the stitching's coming loose. They've gotten wet plenty of times. They haven't shrank at all. Extremely comfortable gloves. Really, really comfortable gloves. They are a little bit on the thick side, so when you first get them, you'll have to get a little bit used to that. Not overly bulky, just a little thick. I mean, they're winter gloves, so they're going to be a little thick. But extremely comfortable. Very, very sturdy. Yeah. And very, very warm. So yeah, these are my favorite gloves I've owned to date. Okay, now I gotta find the next spot to stop, because like I said, it's quite hot out and my hands are very, very warm. Okay, so I'm going to save my most expensive purchase till last, which brings me to my most recent purchase. And my most recent purchase are these. These are gloves by INBIKE. These are mesh gloves, basically. And I bought these gloves for days like today. Very warm, very humid, sucky days like today. Now these I bought, they were 22, 23 bucks. They're pretty cheap. And I got them off of Amazon. So I got them cheap and quick. And yes, they match my jacket and my bike, so that's nice and fancy. Anyway, I bought these hoping they would be nice and cool. And I'll tell you, they are definitely that. These things flow a lot of air. And another thing on the plus side of these gloves, they are very comfortable. Extremely comfortable gloves. I'm gonna say they might even be more comfortable than my Sedicis. And those are padded. So yeah, very comfortable gloves. Now I will say this, even though they flow a ton of air and they're very comfortable, I'm not exactly sold on the safety of these gloves. They say mesh gloves. They're not really mesh. They're just, it's the fabric. The fabric flows a ton of air. There's no mesh in here. But the fabric, I think, is just a cotton nylon mix. So how well they'll hold up under a slide, I don't really know. They do have leather palms. They even have a palm slider on it, which is good. All right, let's see if we can find another spot to pull over and swap to my very last pair of gloves. Okay, my most expensive pair of gloves that I've ever bought. And these are Alpinestars. Now these, in my opinion, are very expensive for gloves. These are about 50 bucks. Now I know they can run a whole lot more than that, like a whole lot more than that. But still, you know, like I've told you guys already, I'm used to paying 20, 30 bucks. 50 bucks seemed expensive, especially for a pair of mesh gloves. But I wanted a good set that would last me a long time. So I figured, can't really go wrong with Alpinestars, right? Well, actually, that's wrong. You can go wrong with Alpinestars. Actually, just so you guys know, these are the pair of gloves that suck. These things are awful. I hate these gloves. Now, unfortunately, this is my very first item I've ever bought from Alpinestars. And no, I'm not going to hold it against Alpinestars, because everybody and their brother raves about Alpinestars, and boy, they sell a lot of product. So it can't all be bad. I'm probably just guessing that I happen to get their one bad egg, maybe. They are extremely uncomfortable. They are the most uncomfortable pair of gloves that I have ever owned. within 10 to 15 minutes of riding, my hands hurt. That's how uncomfortable these things are. They bunch up and get a little bulky in the palm, and I don't know, man, they don't go well. They fold in weird places. Not a good pair. Second problem, they're supposed to be mesh. Well, honestly, they don't really flow much more air than my power trip gloves, which are full leather. Okay, the third thing that sucks about these gloves, they're falling apart already, and I didn't even get 3 months out of them. Take a look at this finger, and less than 3 months of riding. Look, can you see that? Falling apart already. The leather's peeling off. So, is it leather? What is it? Why is it peeling? I haven't got it out in the rain. Problem number 2. Look at these. Look at this Velcro. Worst Velcro I've had so far. Keeping these things attached, forget about it. You'll latch them over, and as soon as you bend your wrist, that's it. Undone. Yeah, terrible. Quick recap. The power trip gloves, you might find at a Harley dealership. You might be able to order them online. I haven't really looked. They're not bad. They held up well. Good construction. Good pair of gloves. Comfort. 7 out of 10. The Sedici Firenze that I ordered from Revzilla, I couldn't recommend them more. Great gloves. Great for cold weather. Cool to cold weather. Yes, you're not going to wear them in the summer, but yeah, really, really good pair of gloves. Comfort, 8 out of 10. Construction, 8 out of 10. Hell, probably a 9 out of 10. I don't see a defect 1 on those, actually. So yeah, highly recommend the Sedici's. INBIKE, like I said, very comfortable. Flows a ton of air. Really good gloves as far as the comfort and stuff like that goes. But how well they'll do under bad circumstances, I don't have high hopes. So I will recommend, but recommend with stipulation that you realize they're not the sturdiest under the sun, I would think. And last but not least, the Alpinestars. Will I recommend? Absolutely not. Stay away from these things. They are not good. You will not like them. I do not like them. They are not comfortable. They are not well made. They are not sturdy. They'd probably hold up well under a crash, if I had to be honest with you. They'd probably do well then. But other than that, stay away from the Alpinestars gloves. Alright guys, I am going to wrap this one up because we've talked far enough about gloves. Hopefully I saved you a little bit of time, and hopefully I saved you a little bit of money. Alright guys, I'm Code Gray. I'll catch you guys in the next one.